lesson 6.2, more practice with slope. So for this lesson, we're going to be using a worksheet that you're going to also use for homework. It's posted on there for you under the daily agenda. You're going to be doing these ones, and I will do a few of them for you. It's just an extension of what we did yesterday, nothing different. So let's get started. Okay guys, I have to re-record this because Drew had a meltdown upstairs, so I'll just show you what I did. When we find the slope from a line, in these worksheets they give us two nice points. If they didn't give us the points, we would have to pick them on the line, but you have to make sure that they're actually on a corner of those boxes. Like I couldn't pick this point because it's in between. This one's right on the corner of a box. So we learned about the rise over the run yesterday. So you're counting either up or down. You look from left to right on your graph to see if your line's going up or down. So from left to right, it's going down, which means my slope's gonna be negative. So I go from one point to the next counting. The rise is down 1, which I wrote over here, and then over 1, 2, 3, which I wrote here. And then as a fraction, it's down 1 or negative 1 over 3. And that would be my slope for that line. For number 2, they give us 2 points again. If they didn't give you the points and you had to find your own, again, you would want to find a point such as this one right here, where it's actually on the corner of the lines, not something like this in between a box. So we're doing rise over run again. From left to right, my graph is going up, so it's going to be a positive slope, okay? So I'm going to count how many it takes me to go up from one point to the next. That's going to be up 1, 2, 3. So that's up 3 and over 1. Up 3 over 1. So as a slope, that's up 3 over 1. We already knew it was going to be positive, but the fact that it's going up, when you write it out, we'll keep it positive. So 3 over 1 is equivalent to just 3. So our slope for this line would be 3. Okay guys, I hope that's enough to go over. You are going to do 5 through 8 for homework and try 3 and 4 on your own. Okay, so for the next section, we're going to be using what I taught you guys yesterday, which is the equation to find the slope, which is the change in y over the change in x, or y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we're going to label our points first because that seems to be the easiest way. This is point 1, this is point 2. Each point is xy, xy. Point 1 makes this x1, y1. Point 2 makes this x2, y2. So I'm going to use my formula here. The slope is going to be y2, which is 14, minus y1, which is 10, over x2, which is negative 7, minus x1, which is 8. Okay, and then I do this one by one. 14 minus 10 is 4, over negative 7 minus 8, which is negative 15. You just want to make sure that it's fully simplified.
I am the queen of this castle. You have to be quiet. Quiet, quiet, quiet. Shh.
Thanks, Drew. Okay, so we're going to do number 10 now. We're going to use the same formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, or the change in y over change in x. I'm just going to show you this. It's mostly used in algebra, but there's a little symbol called delta. This is delta y over delta x, and that means the change in y over the change in x, and you get the change by just subtracting. I should mention that it really doesn't matter which one of these points you label as 1 and 2, as long as you follow the order from y2 to y1 and x2 to x1, you'll be fine. So this is x1, y1, and this is x2, y2. So to find our slope, we're doing y2 minus y1, so that's 2 minus 1, over negative 17, which is x2, minus x1, which is negative 3. Just make sure you don't forget your double negatives. This turns into a plus. So 2 minus 1 is 2. Negative 17 plus 3 is negative 14. And of course, that's fully simplified because it's a unit fraction. And that would be our slope. Okay, guys? So I do believe you have 13 through 16 assigned, maybe. You can try 11 and 12 for classwork. As far as these two go, they're super easy. To find the slope, the equation of a line is given by y equals mx plus b. All you need to know for now is that your m is your slope. Okay, so when you find your rate of change, it's always the number that's before the x. So to find it from an equation, we look at the equation and we look for the coefficient in front of x. So in this case, my slope is -5. That's as simple as it is as that. So it's m is -5. That would be my answer. And then here, in number 18, we have y equals 1/3 x minus 4. The slope is the coefficient in front of x, so that would be 1/3. So my slope, or m, is 1/3. And that's it, guys. Number 20. You're not assigned to number 20, but if you're curious, the line x equals 1 is a completely vertical line. So it has an undefined slope. And you can't actually find it. So that's kind of a trick one. That's something you'll talk about in algebra. This is actually technically an algebra worksheet. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful, guys. If you're interested in trying 25 and 26, they need to be in y equals mx plus b form. So you have to try to solve the equation for y. You don't have to worry about that this year. We'll get into that next year. But if you want to try it, that's what you do. Okay, guys.